All right. How to tone your arms. How do we go from flabby to fit? What's going on, guys? My name is Caden Hayward. I'm the CEO and founder of Coach Hayward. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you on how you can properly tone your arms the way you want to. So we're going to go over the proper steps. We're going to go over how does it happen. It's going to be a quick training. And all I ask is that if you do get something good from this training today, just make sure you subscribe and like so that way other people can see this and get the help they need as well. So let's dive in here. So first and foremost, how does this happen? How do we end up with flabby arms and how do we lose our tone in our arms over time? So you'll find, guys, usually it's more common in women. And typically when it comes to this, there's many reasons behind it, but these are the main ones. So number one is if we live in a sedentary lifestyle and there's not much muscle activation, we're going to slowly lose our muscle mass over time, right? Just as we age, as time progresses, we will lose our muscle mass if we don't use it, right? You lose it if you don't use it. So that's number one. That's the biggest one. The next one is not eating enough protein and not eating enough of the right foods, right? If we don't eat the right foods, if we don't eat enough protein, again, we're going to lose that muscle mass as well. The next one is there's also other factors such as hormonal imbalance. There's also just like if you've lost a tremendous amount of weight over time and there's excess skin there and could just be weight gain in general as well. If your body fat stores there, like genetic wise, if your weight stores in your arms more, that's another reason as well. So that's typically how it does happen when it comes to we get saggy arms. So let's talk about how we actually fix this. How do we change this so we can get toned, fit, firm arms? So when it comes to steps here, we want to kind of break this down into two main steps, okay? Because so first of all, if you're in the class, let's say there's two types when it comes to this goal on how you want to approach it. If you're the class A, we'll say class A is the people who have 0 to 15 pounds to lose. If you have 0 to 15 pounds to lose, you can start like kind of focusing more on like toning your arms rather than overall weight loss. If you have 20, 30, 40, 100 pounds plus to lose, you don't even want to focus on toning your arms yet because they're not going to give you the best bang for your buck for your goals. You're better off to focus on overall weight loss and body fat loss. And then we can shift focusing on like the isolated movements later on. So then focus on shifting like and focusing on more specific exercises to tone that after. But first, we want to lose the weight. So that's the first step is if you have over 20, 30 pounds plus to lose first, let's get that body fat off. Let's get that off first, right? So essentially what you'd want to focus on there is you'd want to do exercises that are going to burn the most amount of calories, but also help you build strong muscles too. So like compound lifts, right? Your barbell squat, your barbell bench press, things like that to help you get strong, get solid, get healthy, but keep an overall foundation, right, on your body as you drop this weight. So you can keep strong, keep firm as you're dropping this weight down and then burn more calories, boost your metabolism. That's all going to come from compound lifts and full body workouts. Okay. And that'll save you time as well. So you're not in there like spending all this time focusing on just triceps. So that's the first thing you'd want to do is lose the weight first until you have about the last 10 to 15 pounds. And then I would suggest then it's like totally fine. Like just, yeah, you can shift and focus on like actual exercises for your arms and whatnot and focus on toning them there. But first, lose that and then focus on it. So let's say once you've lost the weight, now here we are and we want to tone our arms, right? So the first and foremost, it just depends on what your goals are. If you still want to like lose body fat, well then keep in a deficit with your weight loss, a slight deficit, and keep high protein in your diet. So the keys here, guys, is that you gotta have high protein because your muscles need, when you're breaking them down, when you're ripping them up, when you're lifting and training, and you're destroying, like you're ripping up those little muscle fibers. You need proper protein intake so that way your body can properly heal, recover, and get stronger for the next round. So you want to make sure you're eating the right foods. That's key. Okay. You got to make sure you're eating the right foods and the right foods for your goals. Now, the next thing is you want to make sure that you're training properly. So at this point here, your triceps have about like there's three main little muscles to your like your tricep muscle, and there's two parts of the bicep. Your triceps typically take up more of your arm, so you'd want to focus more on those, but you don't want to neglect the biceps. You want to focus on both. So I would suggest is that really all you need if you're trying to train to get toned arms is, let's say at this point, if you have about, let's say maximum 15 pounds to lose or nothing at all, you'd want to train around 4 times a week or so in the gym. And if you're going to go 4 times a week, I would suggest to do something like where you do an upper body focus, you do a lower body focus, and then you do another upper body focus, and then you can do a mixed focus or another lower body focus. And then on those 2 upper body days, you can either add in like 1 day is for the biceps, the next day is for the triceps, or you could add in like 1 day is for your chest and back and shoulders, and then or like chest and back, and then the next upper body day is for like your triceps, your arms, and your shoulders. That's how I would suggest kind of going about it. And then of course, if you want to train more days, then you can really split it up then if you go 5 times per week. But that's how I'd recommend splitting it up. So if you can train your arms around 2 times a week or so, that's going to be perfect for you. And really, when it comes to it, like they're smaller muscle groups, so it's not like you need to train them nonstop all the time, right? But if you were to do them, let's say, 3 exercises, 3 to 4 sets per exercise when you're training, like let's say your biceps or your triceps, and rep range, you can do anywhere between 10 to 15 reps is absolutely perfect for this. And the rest is around like I'd say around 45 seconds to about a minute or so of resting in between your sets. Go about that there, and then make sure you train them almost to failure. So you got to really feel that stress. You want to really stress the muscle. You really want to focus on stressing the muscle, because if you want them to grow, if you want them to get stronger, you need to push yourself, right? So that's what I would suggest there. And then after that, I mean, just give it time. Just give it time. You give yourself 3 to 4 months, you're going to see the changes happen 100%. But when it comes to getting your arms more toned and whatnot, and firm, there's no magical pill or nothing. And you could do the weirdest tricep exercise, but as long as you're consistent, as long as you're pushing yourself and you're eating the right protein and you're keeping your body fat off and you're getting rid of that body fat, you're going to get toned arms. It's going to happen. There's no like extra magical pill behind it, right? So as long as you do those things there, you're going to get the toned arms that you want. And another thing too, when you are losing weight, like that 20, 30, 40 plus pounds, if you're doing things like your bench press, dumbbell press, that's still going to work your triceps. You still will, you still will hit those spots. They're not going to be neglected as you're losing the weight down too. Okay. So guys, that's the training for today though. Very quick, very simple, but I just want to share this with you to hopefully provide some insight for anybody who's looking for that. And help clear things up when it comes to your weight loss journey, your fit journey, and how you can properly tone your arms. Now, remember, if you want to add actual size and mass to your arms, you need to be in a caloric surplus, right? So that means you're eating more calories than your body burns. So therefore, you're packing on weight, and your arms, if you're working them, you're targeting them, they will grow as well over time. But if you're focusing on shredding off body fat and you want to tone your arms, don't worry about getting them bulky. You can train them consistently, and you don't got to worry about getting them bulky or nothing like that, especially if you're a lady as well, just giving your testosterone levels. So that's the training for today, guys. I hope you learned something new. If you did, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next training.